The pulse of tomorrow is perpetuated by people who continue to work despite the steep hill they are faced with, and in spite of the lethal toxins, they still take risks. They keep their boots on the ground to give this worldwide frown a facelift. They work together to erase this anguish, and I'm sorry to say it, but there are still so many that remain thankless. So thanks to celebrities, specifically Rudy Gobert and Tom Hanks, because when they contracted COVID-19, we realized that this pandemic wasn't a sick prank, for lockdowns and quarantines began the very next day. But there are many other celebrities who have spread awareness and positivity. From Gal Gadot to Cardi B, even though some claim what they did to simply be a mockery, they still brought an alert to this new reality. To our grocery store employees who have worked tirelessly dealing with the collective consumer sometimes acting irrationally, they still stood behind registers valiantly, face to face with the Grim Reaper. Some have even succumbed to this lethal fever. For stock clerks, resupplying shelves like brave soldiers, restocking the Lysol, Charmin, and Coca-Cola, risking exposure. For factory workers and farmers who have been working to refill barren stockrooms that are empty. Thankfully they work so that we can once again enjoy this land of plenty. For small restaurant owners, bakeries, delis, meal preparers, cooks, and chefs who do their best to feed their distant guests despite the stress from this viral unrest that threatens their business's success. Another group of people deserving of praise are our professors and teachers who have quickly adapted to change so that a quality education can still be obtained. For doctors and nurses, undeterred by the lack of supplies, still in the trenches of the front lines for the betterment of humankind. During these dark times, it's their hearts that truly shine. But all healthcare workers need some extra appreciation, whether they are simply supplying a cheerful conversation or administering medication. Thank you for your patience amid the struggles that you're faced with. But the ones who go unnoticed are the cleaners, who sanitize and disinfect everything to protect the sickly and the seniors. For the sanitation engineers that work in filthy conditions that are quite severe, and despite the fears of contracting the disease, they still pick up our waste and clean our streets. For first responders around the world, firefighters, military, EMS, and police, the bravest of the brave, often in harm's way just to keep us safe from the plague. And for all who work in transport by driving a train, bus, car, boat, or plane, despite the contagion, you still remain, taking patrons from place to place. For our construction workers, laborers that work non-stop to convert buildings into hospitals or erecting new places for patients so that healthcare can be made possible. For our Amazon employees, delivery drivers, and postal carriers who deliver mail and food to our doors so that we don't have to leave our quarantine barriers and go shopping at stores. For reporters and the media that keep us informed with the news, we only hope that you continue to supply us with the truth. For politicians, governors, mayors, and the president, the most imperfect of people, far from being heaven-sent. But despite your political stance, we need to be commending them. They're battling an unprecedented crisis, just like us, making quick, difficult decisions just to try and fight this virus. For spiritual leaders, shamans, rabbis, imams, and priests, from the Vatican to the Middle East, working to increase our worldwide belief in peace. Thank you for listening, for staying inside and stopping the spread, for staying strong despite all the dread, for it is the only way that we will ever get ahead. But what we forget to thank most is the spirit above and the spirit within, the spirit that we can never do without, the Spirit of God. Amen.